go, just for the pre-roll. This is where we're all going to be silent now. What? You pressed record?
Oh my soul. Shouldn't be thinking about it. Don't even think about it. I'm not thinking at all, but I will be soon.
I'm not thinking. I'm Jake Schriner.
Wait, say that again.
It's a good dad joke.
Oh.
I guess I would be a Bob Nelson.
You're the Bob Nelson. This is true. I'm Tracey White.
And I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation podcast.
Yay!
Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
By the way, Kathy's been binging the podcast.
Atta girl.
Nice.
Yeah, she's well over halfway through all of them.
Oh, no kidding. Did she start at one?
No, she started at the last one and started working her
working
way
backwards.
and so she's going all of it, and it's so
It's
funny.
going retro.
Because she does that in the evenings, and I'll be on my computer playing a game or something, and she'll just be over there cracking up. And I'm like, you guys are so silly.
She's in a few of those episodes.
Yeah, no, I know. She was watching the one where she brought that guitar for Harper. Which is cool.
Harper likes to break that out every once in a while.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like, what does that mean? Where it's like I saw a Hallmark movie in reverse, and they're like, they start off as a slob hanging out in the woods or something, and then they make their way. They break up with their country boyfriend and make their way back to the city and wear sensible-looking sharp dresses and have a great business life. Or so it becomes like the opposite.
That's the opposite.
Oh well.
If you want to see a good opposite, maybe just watch Memento.
Yeah, that is very good.
It's a weird movie.
That is a weird movie. That movie, if you play it forward, I watched it years ago, but I started thinking about it afterwards. If you watch it actually in real-time sequence forward, it's like a 6-minute movie. Anyway, very strange tangent we're on here. Well, hey, you know what? I'm glad that you're back and with us tonight. We're going to see how everybody's doing around this little table. So, Jake, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
I'd say he thinks he's doing good.
You think so?
I think I'm doing
The
good.
thinker.
Yeah. Happy Advent season to you guys.
Mm.
It's been, a couple weeks since we've done this. Had Big Sunday last Sunday. Harper was not in attendance because she had her first birthday party she got invited to go to. I suppose she's been to a couple others, but one from her class.
Right.
And that was cool. It was at Chuck E. Cheese, which haven't been at a Chuck E. Cheese in almost 20 years, and they have really changed the game.
Oh, have they?
There's no more ball pit. There's no more big jungle gym to run around, and it's all just games, and it's very nice and clean and open and well lit.
Wow.
It didn't feel like a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. I guess the pizza was even good, which is
What?
I know, strange.
That's
Sounds expensive. It's all starting to sound much more expensive.
First Casa Bonita and now Chuck E. Cheese?
What's going on?
They're switched it up. No,
Was there any automatron?
they have gotten rid of the scary automated.
That's from Five
size
Nights at
scanner.
Freddy's.
Oh,
Five Nights at Freddy's has ruined all of that.
I haven't seen
like the
it.
best
No, I haven't
stuff in
seen
the
it.
world.
But they have like a big screen on the wall that shows all that stuff now. But no, I went and picked her up after church because Colette had brought her there, and it was really cool. She had a lot of fun. The kids were all running around. They have, instead of tokens and tickets anymore, they have a little card that they can swipe at all the machines, and then at the end you just scan the card and it tells you how many tickets you have.
gosh.
And then, $10 worth of tokens for a 50-cent toy at the end of it.
It's awesome.
I mean, that part hasn't changed. But,
That's the way it should be.
yeah, so she had fun. So she's like, I want to do this for my 6th birthday. I'm like, okay, cool. We got 10 months to figure that one out.
Yeah.
So that should be fine. But
That's awesome.
Yeah, doing good. Work's going well. Just trying to finish the year strong with that. We got our company Christmas party coming up in a couple weeks. It's at a place called Holy Moly. It's the old spaghetti factory downtown, and they turned it into a adult mini putt place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that's the whole
Like putt, putt,
putt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have. What's really cool about it is it used to be called Urban Putt, a few years ago when they first opened it. But they actually bought a ton of steel from us to build out the place and make their custom holes and do all this different stuff. So it'll be cool to go there and see what we helped build. But so that's going to be a lot of fun. Cool. Everyone's excited to go to that. We typically do just like 1 or 2 company events a year. That's always the big one. Everyone gets a +1. We cover food and drink, and everyone gets 27 holes of golf. And last couple years we did it at like Top Golf. So it's fun to like go do exciting things like that. We used to do like the private backroom steak dinners and stuff, and for a few of us that's fun, but like for a lot of the yard guys, they just are not comfortable. That's absolutely not their thing. So doing things where there's more of an activity involved and it's a little more low key is it works a little better. They have a better time.
That's so awesome.
Looking forward to that, and all the festivities coming up the rest of the year. So.
Well, awesome, man. That's very cool. Glad to have you here, as always. To your right, Bob Nelson, Bob Nelson, of the Meadows.
King of the Meadows.
You got like 5 different nicknames or something.
Before I became a Christian, I was the one Bob.
The one Bob.
There shall be no Bobs before me.
Now he's the pun Bob.
Exactly, the pun Bob. It all comes around. How are you doing, Bob?
You're doing good. It's been light since I took a week off. A bunch of stuff, kind of finally came through and eased out at work. So last week and this week have been really light so far. We were supposed to go to Holy Moly for our team event on Thursday. Instead, we're going to Lucky Strike.
The bowling.
Yeah. So which will be fun. I like bowling. Always good on the first game, and then after that, it's like, what happened? The gutters are my friends. So, but yeah, no, they doing well. Except for driving home today, like every bit of traffic and construction got in front of me.
Wow.
I swear.
Wow.
Usually it's a pretty easy getting home, but nope, not today. It was nuts.
Crazy going on.
Yeah, so but I'm not, doing really well. Finally breaking that cold that I had all week, so that's
good.
Better.
That's good.
Yeah, it seems to be leaving fast. So, how about you, Trey?
Awesome.
Oh, doing good. My commute was not that horrible today. It was a little chilly, but
Things the way it was not so bad.
yeah. But work is work. Just got to make it through the next 3 weeks, and then Christmas week, the final week of the year, is off.
Yay!
I'm
Nice.
taking off.
Mine too.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
I always call that Dead Week.
Did we?
It's a carryover from when I was in college. It's what they would call the week of final exams.
Yeah,
It was Dead Week, but nothing
yeah.
else going on. But we'll have no compass anything. There'll be no school anything. I won't be seeing any of you people that I love so much, that I love with all my heart.
That is okay.
But I'll be like cleaning out closets. I'll be
We're okay
planning, dreaming,
Doing a lot of
chilling
nothing
out
is fine.
for 1 week of this year. Not going anywhere. It's gonna be great.
We got to help Emily out. I told her I'd give her a shout out. Hi, Em.
Hey, Emily.
Love you. Hope everything's good there in Albuquerque. Yeah, no, she's doing great. She sent a little picture of a text that she got from, I guess, the manager of the. She does coffee. She's a barista, and it was like, hey, they have goals, I guess, monthly, weekly, whatever. And she's number 1.
Hey,
so that was
nice.
it. It was a text
Very
saying,
good.
hey, so-and-so did pretty good, number 2. But Emily did the best. She's number 1. So
Excellent.
I'm not surprised. She's a hard worker, and we love her, and I'm very proud of her. So
Awesome.
and and she said thanks to Compass Church
Yay.
for helping them
It was
out.
our pleasure.
Their whole the three roomies
Awesome.
needed a little help, and we were able to do that. So Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. By golly, I'm fine. This is one of those crazy times of year for me. Was there somebody in there?
Yeah, somebody turn the light on in there.
Oh, look, it's Michael.
Hey.
Michael's in there. All
I
right.
can't hear anything.
He can't. Well, anyway, today, I don't know. It's been crazy all day today, and I'm in a period of time where I realized. I realized it before today. I was like, wait, I started thinking about the series that we're doing, and plus, that was the first, but with the Sunday I went out of town, and I'm also speaking at another church in Texas. It's a different message from the one I'm doing here. Plus, I'm preaching sermon 3 in this series before I'm doing sermon 2 the next day. Right? So I've got I've got like 6 sermons I'm doing this month. I'm like, oh my soul.
And then it's Big Sunday after that. Right?
No, that's incorrect.
Is there one?
I don't think that's right. Hopefully. No, well, you know what? That is right. Yes. So when I come back, that is correct. It is our Christmas Big Sunday.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Jeez.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway, times are a little bit crazy. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to measure my days. I get a lot of things accomplished. People are always surprised that I'm doing as many things as I'm doing. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's just the world I'm in right now. I'm trying to change it. But I have to be very, speaking of organized, I have to be very organized with my time. I know it comes across often that I'm not organized when I'm running here at 6 or 7 minutes late like tonight. But all that said, I'm blocking out my time over the next several days. I got stuff to get done. We have people coming over hopefully on Friday to our house, and we've got other things I'm trying to get accomplished all before I leave, preparing 2 messages, doing all this stuff. And so I needed a day today to be, I usually have about an hour and a half, 2 hours at the school where I can lock in and I can actually do some Compass stuff with permission, right? And I'm still kind of on call. I still need to jump up if needed. But I can sometimes, we'll turn off the light in the hub there, and Lewis will be over at his desk there. I have that lamp on. We have the fireplace thing going, and the lights are off. I'm just like working on church type stuff for just a little bit. Today, no. I mean, oh my! I mean, like kids with some emotional issues running through the halls. We don't have adults block doors. I mean, it's goofy kinds of things. But I'm just standing there going, I'm not really the one in charge, but I have to be there for support. Yeah. And then, other things like that. There's one child who has just come to our school. They speak 0 English. And I think they were a refugee from somewhere. It may have been Ukraine. I'm not sure where they're from. They don't speak any English at all. The mom, she just looks like somebody out of Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah. And the kid is just, seriously, she looks like she's got the kerchief around. And not a burqa or anything, just like a kerchief. And anyway, so this kid, he's been freaking out and stuff. And he has no emotional or mental problems or anything like that. He's probably, I think, 1st or 2nd grade. But as she was dropping him off, and kind of trying to get him to his classroom. This happened in the middle of the other thing that was going on with the kid that was kind of screaming and yelling and whatever. And it was just it was seriously out of a movie. The mother was like going, goodbye, goodbye, like, and he was like, screaming, just bloody murder, like, don't send me here to this horrible place. But anyway.
That's got to be terrifying. Not understanding anybody.
I know, God bless him. But anyway, all that was happening, and it was taken into my time. And then as I get into like cafeteria duty and things, it was just like after I was spinning. There was one point where I was like, I'm in a crazy house. Because I was standing helping the kids get their food kind of put away to go out to recess. And it's like, spill. Well, oh, hey, no, watch your step right there. Mr. Leckie. Right? And then I dropped my hand. There's a tray in the trash, and then there's a thing here, and then another thing here. Would you tie my shoe? And I thought, oh my gosh. But it was still funny, and it was still fine when it was all said and done. But anyway, that was my day almost from beginning till almost here. So just crazy all around me. No wonder I'm acting crazy.
No wonder you missed the turn, right?
No wonder I missed the turn. Anyway.
Been here 100 times.
But here's
over 100 times. Can we have 150?
Yeah, what are we on? This is 140 something?
142, I think. 141 or 142.
Yeah, I think last one was 141. So I guess 142.
More than that many times.
Well, here's the other funny thing about this, and I've started doing this. I know this is why God uses our podcast, right? Because everything comes into focus. Because whenever something crazy happens to me on a Monday, I went, podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell this time. So anyway, and then I laughed, so it's all good. And there I had it. So.
Awesome.
I did forget to mention, so my friend Jay came to church with me
Yes.
yesterday because his car had been giving him problems for several weeks, and he, as he put it, was missing the fellowship of believers. So it's like, yeah, I'll take it, no problem. So he really enjoyed the service. We get him back. He's like, Bob, okay, can you drive my car to see if you can figure out what's wrong with it? And I drove his car, and nothing was wrong with it. So they're like, okay, what you need to do is put a picture of my face in the hood.
He's so funny, man.
Yeah.
He just makes me laugh, and he's also so encouraging too.
Yeah. He is. What it was, Ford just has a weird thing with their batteries. If you replace it, it's got to sit for 8 hours before you can go run it again. Otherwise, it does stupid things.
Huh.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense, and it's entirely stupid at the same time.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's some surge protector system.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
But his car's running
There's a
fine now.
little man inside the machine that has to get up,
I
move
guess.
around for a while, kind of get his legs again.
Union brake.
Yeah, union brake.
I'm on break.
You know, the pause. Oh my
8
God.
hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Well, hey, let's shift gears here just a little bit, and let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Campus church related, things coming up, things that have gone on, whatever is on your heart.
Has anything happened over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, nothing's happened.
We've done a big Sunday, 2 messages.
All meaningless gatherings.
Yeah, good stuff.
Mark was Christmassy, sort of. You talked about a tree.
Yeah.
That's
true.
That's true.
Not quite the tree you want
That
in your
withered.
living room.
The withering tree.
It was a Charlie Brown tree.
Tree in the temple. That's what that was. I don't know. I was announced the title of whatever the message is, but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
Turkey
people
sandwich.
complain about that. You know, some people who have fallen away from the faith. You know, they're like, well, there's stuff in the Bible that's just mean, like cursing the fig
Like
tree.
being mean to the tree.
Yeah, being mean to the tree, and I'm like, well, no. It was a really good.
It's a tree.
It's just a tree.
By the way, he made it too.
There was a point, and there was
talk
a
to Jonah.
prophecy.
I mean, come on.
There's right.
Tell it totally differently. All right.
That was a different.
And what about the grass, man? It withers. The flowers fade. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. The whole the prophecy. You know that it was in. It's way back from the Old Testament and everything, and in the illustration that it provided for the disciples that were with him. So yeah.
It was good to get back into gospel work because it was strange that it's sort of a running joke that we've been in gospel work for like 10 years or something like that.
When we first started coming here, we were only on chapter 2. So.
Is that right?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, well, rock on.
Okay.
And we're almost 4 years now.
I just made a decision. I made a decision early on, and this was only after we started meeting at Arkansas Elementary School, that it's like I kind of felt this conviction that we just needed to be in the Gospels, right? But also there was a lot of other stuff to teach that needed to be done. So I thought, well, okay, let's do this on the Sundays we do our full band, and that'll be a consistent in the life of our church. That will always be in at least one gospel. Every month will be, just in the gospel. We'll go through them until I die, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of the idea. Now again, there's my plan and God's plan, but my impression was that that's what we needed to do, and I think it served us well. Because whenever we get off of something, we're tethered back to the gospel, particularly the Gospel of Mark, which is a fave of mine. So. Yeah.
I like that message. So Jesus goes into the temple. He's like,
Looks around.
all right, let's go. I'll be back tomorrow.
Some quesadillas back at Peter's place or something. No, I guess his place would have been in Jerusalem, but anyway.
Yeah, and then you talk about, and this is something that it's what I learned about the different courtyards of the temple,
Herod's temple,
and how the money changers were in the Gentile area, and but I just that was a really interesting to know, you know, about the physical setup and what was going on there. I mean, I understood what was going on there, but I hadn't realized that the different courtyards. So watch the message. It's from last.
It's on our Facebook page and
last
YouTube.
week. Yeah,
That is true.
yeah, it's really great.
Like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Kathy did. She likes it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Good, good. I'm telling you, it does help. I mean, our views kind of go up on certain things. And what other things that happen is, even if you don't get the views, it's presented more to
Yeah.
other people because the algorithm sees, oh, there are people liking this. Maybe this person will like this.
I didn't
So
know
we'll play their
Al Gore
game,
had
man.
any rhythm at all.
Well, Al Gore has no rhythm. Hey! That's two dad
Sorry,
jokes
Al.
in one podcast.
Oh goodness.
They're usually 15.
The money changing thing, that was not just in the temple, but if you look at pretty much any ancient empire,
Yeah.
like any empire they would be touching another one.
Yeah.
So every major city, their biggest portion, instead of like massive huge banks, they had massive money changing depots and buildings and stuff, and that's where a lot of the wealth was held and everything, because they would exchange, you know, the coins with different emperors' faces on them for this many coins.
That's right.
And so so you had people traveling from all over, like you're talking about the message.
Yeah.
So they probably had coins from all sorts of different places
Right.
and all sorts of different currencies, and they were all getting changed into a common currency in Jerusalem, just so they could make trading in those markets
And then we're
easier.
tacking on these tariffs on top
Yeah.
of it
Oh,
in that
yeah.
particular
Yeah.
instance.
Sure, there was quite a
Some
bonus
fees.
on that exchange rate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is one of those things that you don't think about as much today, right? That's why we have to put the lens a little bit onto the ancient world, just at least a little bit, to kind of understand what's going on. So we're not just reading something that goes, well, that's weird, and we don't make the application.
Yeah. Well, we also don't sacrifice animals at a temple
Yeah, that's
either. Like
And in fairness,
Like
you
they
know,
used to.
in this particular instance, particularly at Passover, what they were doing was buying their lamb to go sacrifice for their Passover meal wherever they were having it. So there's kind of a unique moment there. But yeah, you're right. It's great the way Mark shares the way this thing went down. And he mentions that, you know, that they came in the night before. Jesus looks
Yeah.
around. Oh,
yeah.
sleep on this. I'm coming back tomorrow. Go ahead.
One of the other things they were kind of missing too was the fact that it was the court of the Gentiles. This is where they were supposed to bring in the Gentiles so they could find who God was.
Yeah.
So that was another giant miss that goes back to the
Big
future.
miss. Yes.
Right.
It was a huge miss. And that's the one I think sometimes is overlooked, you know, is it's like the judgment wasn't just, I don't think I even mentioned this, but I mean, certainly 70 AD, the temple is literally destroyed, right? Just, you know. And so there's some of that mixed into what Jesus was saying. But the bigger and broader point was, I'm executing a bit of judgment. And I'm judging you as this, you are fruitless.
Yeah.
You are not reaching the nations.
Right.
You are not caring about the rest of the world. So,
You have
and
the
Jesus
facade
came
of
for the
such
world,
that-
right? You know,
Yeah.
All right.
So, which comes back to the fig tree, which there's something I didn't know, and that some figs did come into season or into fruit when they were out of season. Which I'm like, well, of course it's not going to have any fruit, Jesus. It's out of season. That's what Mark's saying here, right? So that was really interesting to know, and it makes complete sense that in a fairly temperate climate, you have different things that would come into fruit at different times.
Yeah.
So you'd have your regular growing season, but then you'd have other stuff that would keep you going. So.
Yeah, and that's an interesting kind of study. I mean, that passage even alone, there's so many commentaries and people who tried to figure out what is happening here, you know. And again, you know, there may even be more to it because I don't think ultimately it really matters that was the case. Like Jesus was being mean with the tree or something. Though he was using that as the illustration, enacting an enacted parable of sorts. Yeah, I mean, a lot of commentators will fall onto the bit where it's just the little nubs of figs that some people do eat. They're not fully formed, and so that they say, well, maybe that's what he was talking about. I just don't think it's a satisfactory
Yeah.
satisfaction. It didn't give me the satisfaction of understanding that passage as well as understanding that, oh, there were some that were.
Mhm. Yeah, looking like you're giving out fruit and not giving out fruit is exactly what he was
That
talking
was the
about.
right.
So it makes complete sense now.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was a couple of weeks ago. Anything else about that? Or?
I'm just glad I don't live then because figs were a thing and I don't like figs.
Totally
Sorry.
Newton guy, so.
So here's
It's
the
weird, when I was young I did eat fig Newtons, but then somewhere along the line I was like, wait, these things are gross.
All right, so here's the thing. It's just like there's certain fruits out there that you might try them one time and go, but then you have like the real thing and where it's most grown best, and it just tastes completely different.
Sure.
So I grew up, and I had a friend who had a fig tree, and we would eat them right off the tree,
Yeah.
and they were lush and delicious. They weren't figgy. And what I mean by that is I had some figs here in Colorado.
Yeah.
This is like why do they call this a fig, man? This is horrible. I hated it. They're grainy and they're kind of dried out feeling. That's not how figs are
My
supposed to be.
great-grandfather had one down in Bishop, Texas. Yeah. In his
So, yeah.
backyard.
I just always remember that tree in Louisiana. The figs there. I mean, they grew big, lush. They were juicy and awesome.
Way down south in
Way down south, Louisiana.
There's no oranges, grapefruits, or bananas, but there's figs.
That's
And
exactly
sugar
right.
cane.
Pomegranate.
Pomegranates. I like pomegranate.
You can gnaw on some cotton like it. Oh, yeah. See, I'm halfway through that. I'm just gonna start weirder and weirder. Stop it now. Oh my soul.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but yeah, it was good to be in the gospel work. Now, yesterday, I'm going to call attention to at least one thing yesterday. How are we doing on time, by the way?
Oh, we're all right. 14 minutes.
We're okay? Okay, we still, in our regular time, we're short anyway. But I wanted to call attention to something from yesterday that I asked everybody to do. I was wondering if you guys did it.
Did not yet.
Okay, X mark for Tracy.
3 out of 4 doesn't
You
sound
see that
bad.
right there?
Attaboy, that's what I want to
9:30
see.
a.m. every day. It went off this morning while I was at work. I'm like, oh, I need to pray for it.
Excellent,
There you go.
excellent. Yes, the same for me. That's the thing, because we don't think about it during the day. And I would love to take credit for this idea. It was not my idea. I had a group in a seminar I was in probably 5 years ago. It was just, I think God just brought it back to memory while I was preparing this message, just about the prayerlessness factors. And yeah, that's what they said. In fact, it was to church planters in particular. It was a church planting thing it was at. And the guy said, oh, every church planter should have an alarm on their phone. He said those numbers, and we were like, what the heck are you talking about? And then he read them and went, oh, gotcha.
Makes sense.
So I just thought, right now, I mean, we look, Bob and I were having this conversation about our church and how it's like our attendance has been kind of here lately. But there's this vibe and feeling God's still doing stuff, right?
Yes.
There's things happening around us. So good things happening. I don't know what that's ultimately going to look like, but I do know this, that there's never a more important time for us to be caring about reaching new people here in the Aurora area. And just as our conversations, we were talking about your dad and the message that he was telling you about,
Yes.
and, how important it is to pray to the Lord. This is something God has told us to do. So we could come up with all kinds of cool ideas, right? Let's have this event, let's do this thing, and we'll pull them in, by golly.
Yeah.
Which, is, you do need to kind of do that.
Sure.
But first, what do we do? What he told us to do.
It's a great
Pray
place
to the
start.
Lord of the harvest.
Pray and everything.
That he would bring in workers into his harvest field. Now, that idea isn't about just reaching people who don't know Jesus. It's about bringing people into the mix who would join us in the mission of reaching people for Jesus. So it's slightly different, but we do need that, right? I mean, I was thinking if we had 10 times the number of people that we currently have on a Sunday morning show up next Sunday, are we ready for them? We're not.
Yeah, we'll be more donuts.
We'd be excited about it.
Be out of coffee.
We had a coffee, out of donuts. Would our kids be served properly? You know, it's all of that kind of
I don't
thing.
know. I think our kids' ministry thing, the ladies that are taking care of that. I know you
Yeah, I
are
love
doing
that. I mean,
you know,
one
kind
of them's
crafts
just
and
the most
everything,
beautiful, awesome person I know.
Thank
My
you.
lovely wife.
Kathy really does.
Hey, hi, Anna. That was the
No,
right
but
answer, by the way. From you. Anyway.
I think that they do such a great job that they would.
Yes.
If there were
They'd
10
figure
or
it
12 kids in there, 20 kids, they would love it.
Yeah, they'd figure it out. But we would want to see, because here's what we want to do. We want to be able to have babies
Yes.
in their own spot.
Yeah.
Toddlers really in their own spot,
Yeah.
so that we can focus on 15, 20 first grade, second grade, third graders, right? So that's what I mean. I mean,
Yeah.
if we had a big wide mix, you have 20 or 30 kids in a room, but 8 of them are babies,
Yeah.
and the others are in third grade. It gets,
Right.
that would be tough
I'd like
for
to
even
see
our
some-
talented crew.
I want to see some kids in their late teens in there.
Yeah, there too.
Josh needs someone to really closely associate
I
with.
agree. And you know what? That's another thing. Teenagers would be fantastic to help us serve in some of these areas
Yes,
too.
definitely.
So not just to entertain them, but get them on board, man.
Speaking of Josh,
People
I'm
wanna
sorry. He wants to be here. He wants to practice with us tonight. We're practicing up, but he's working.
Yeah, no.
And he doesn't
But he was
come.
there. He was there yesterday,
Yeah.
so that was good.
Yeah, I was grateful for that. He doesn't get off until we end practice.
It's all right. It's
Yeah.
all right. It's gonna come around. He's doing the right things and all that. So
Hey, that's a shout out to 2 of my children.
hey,
Andy, hi.
come on. As well. Hey, man.
I called yesterday. I called Andrew yesterday, and it was his stepkid's soon-to-be stepkid. They're engaged still, by the way.
Ah, good.
Bellamy's birthday, and I
cool.
was like, he's like, "Is that what you called for?" I'm like,
Yeah, sure.
"No, but I didn't know." But so we sang "Happy Birthday" to Bellamy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Said hey to Maverick. He didn't know anything, and then I talked to Coraline for a little bit. So. Sorry, Johnny. How you doing?
Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. We're going to start on our right. How are you doing, Jake? Wait, we kind of come full circle around the table here. That's all right.
Sidetracked. You got to thinking about
Grandkids do that to you.
Yeah. That's
Kids
true.
and grandkids. Man.
So I was thinking about the beginning of your message yesterday, and part of the story, and not that this was the point of the story at all, but the whole idea of hiking, especially the switchbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a great metaphor for following Christ, because you might not always be facing
Yes.
the end goal, but every little
yes,
turn you
yes.
make, you're getting a little higher, a little closer.
Yes.
You know, it's I thought that was. I was thinking about that on the drive home today. I'm like, you know,
Oh, good.
that'd be a good, it'd be a good lesson right there, and taking hiking
that's
and
right.
trying to reach a goal. Because some people are rock climbers with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They just go
right.
straight up the side of the mountain. Other people, and most people, are hiking those switchbacks, and they're not
Yeah.
always taking the right steps. But the intent is to
Yeah.
constantly be growing and getting closer. So
That's great,
Very
yeah.
different memories of Devil's Head.
But you actually went up it from a different way
Yeah.
years ago. That was
So it was one of the first summer we'd gotten together.
You enjoyed.
Yeah, you joined me. We were my dad and my brother were going up there, and it's like, well, you'll really like this hike. It's a really beautiful spot. So we all went up together. It was a lot of fun, except we did go the back way, which is no trail. It's not a bad hike. But what she saw was me doing things like jumping across big rocks and stuff. So now that's in her mind. That's what I do when I go backpacking and stuff. And so she hates it when I go alone, and I don't do that.
But the truth is, you were
about
trying to
right.
show off.
I was showing off.
Yeah. Going back in the day.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Very practiced in that area. So, yeah.
Well, I will just say back to you, Jake, that I'm glad that you got that out. Because as I was going back, I went, this story's a little too long. It's a little bit longer I intended for it to be. But I know I was setting up, and I don't always do that, right? I don't always tell just a long story. I want to get into the scripture as soon as I can. But I did this. I was just setting up that whole the series, right, for the end of the year. So I'm glad that you got upward. And as I got near the end of it, started making some application to that story to kind of where the Thessalonians are. I went, I could have done a whole different thing with this story. But anyway, it got us set up, got us ready to go. So we jumped in.
I like that.
And look it up, we had the whole idea.
See, Jake picked up on that. Out of that, if you were to talk about going up the incline in Manitou Springs, there's no
that's
switchback.
straight up no switchbacks. Can you imagine somebody doing that like a Mario thing or something up the stairs? That just sounds
That'd be
horrible.
disruptive.
I still in my heart, I feel like I need to go do that one time.
You do.
But my legs hurt thinking about it. But
Yeah.
I
Need to
think
do
I
it
need to
anyway.
do it. All right, I will.
Yeah, I have no desire. Too many people. I go up to the mountains to get away from them.
You haven't done it?
Nope.
You got to start at the right time of day, right?
You do.
Okay. You just see them all the way
Yeah,
down.
4 o'clock in the morning, probably.
No, just do it on a weekday.
Yeah.
Not during the summer.
Yeah.
The other part of it is I like to put my energy into distance, not height. So,
Yeah, you do some
Take some
long
energy.
hikes.
yeah. 20, 25 miles.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm never
One
going
dig
with
it.
you.
I like those.
Unless we did the Baton Death March,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
26.2.
Oh, my soul. All right, well, what else about yesterday or the weekend or what's coming up? And then we'll wrap things up here tonight.
Well, I mean, back to that prayer thing. That's one of the big points that was brought up was how Paul was saying, "Hey, pray for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please pray for us." And then the other passages throughout the New Testament where these guys are like, "Pray for us, pray for us." And I mean, like.
And you would think they'd be okay, because they're such spiritual, giants in many
Yeah,
ways,
I mean,
and
it's
yet
just,
that's why they
need
did
prayer,
so
too.
well.
There is a necessity for it. There is an
Yeah.
innate
Exactly.
need for that, and that's what we do on a normal basis. Like after we do this, we pray,
Yeah.
and we pray for each other in the church and stuff like that, and we should be doing it twice a day too.
Yes.
At least, or 4 times if you're really.
I was going to say, did we even explain that, or did we just start talking about it? But
Hey, it's
we're
explained in the message, and
Yeah, if you
anybody
watch the
watching can
message,
watch
sure.
the message
Yeah.
from
There's
yesterday.
you didn't drop the why the time matters, but you did talk about the Lord of the harvest and how we need to be praying to have more workers come to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because the harvest is abundant, and that's
Luke-
And the
Luke
workers
2.
are few.
And the workers
That's
are
right.
few.
I have it
Luke
here.
10:2 and Matthew
9:37 and
37 and 38.
Man, I was
So I guess
looking
you
at it.
pray
Yeah,
at
look,
37.
10 to.
Yeah, you could.
But the prayer one is 38. But
Yeah.
You gotta make sure if you do the Matthew version, it's a 2-minute prayer. 37 and 38. You gotta.
you really want to do this right.
That's the Luke
Check
one,
all the
right?
boxes.
Or the
Luke one's
Matthew
only
one.
10 too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
it's
you
only
pick
one.
Luke,
So
you only need to do it one minute.
it's up to you.
I'll read these real quick. Luke 10:2 is he told them, Jesus told them, the harvest is abundant, but the workers are few. Therefore, pray to the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest. And then Matthew 9:37 and 38 is Jesus said to his disciples, the harvest is abundant, but the workers are few. This is very similar, right? Therefore, pray to the Lord of harvest to send out workers into his harvest. And I think that's really great that both Matthew and Luke are saying the exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just a kind of a testament, a New Testament.
It's a New Testament, if you will.
About how heavy that rang with them, how
Oh, right.
important that was to them.
Yes,
They
yes.
picked
Yeah,
up on
yeah.
that. They were like, "Oh yeah, this is important.
Right.
We got to make sure that we write this down, kind of
Yeah,
thing,
that's
get it
good.
written down." So that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. The only difference is Matthew breaks it into 2 verses.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he told them versus he said to his disciples. So that's
Right.
it.
Them disciples. All right. Well, yeah, and to kind of bring that to wrap that up. I just was going to say that I just feel like if the people who call themselves a part of Compass Church, just us now, we're just talking about us, make that commitment. And the only way to make that kind of commitment real is by making it real on your phone, a reminder, oh yeah, and then 10 seconds, 15 seconds even. And we're all praying daily. I'm talking about every single day. I just feel like God's going to do something. Yeah.
Well, you were talking about timing. I didn't want to do it in the PM side of things because I'm asleep by those times.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But during the AM, I'm usually in meetings at work, and so it gives me a chance to just kind of go, I'll be back on Zoom, and then do that prayer, and then pray for those folks too, wherever they're at.
Sure.
But then you're at school,
Yes.
and that's a great time to pray right there too.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, it gives you an idea about the people you're praying for in the harvest as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
This all brings to mind yet another verse we like to quote around here.
Yes, we
It's
do.
true. And that is John 3:16. Who would like to share that today?
Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And so let's see if I can
Pick a version.
hi the who.
Pick a version and get the high.
Yeah, exactly.
We're flashing low cards, so make it quick.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Yep.
There you go.
Know it, read it, know it more, pray it.
Read it again. Read it
That's
again.
something from all 4 Gospels, this podcast.
Hey,
Yeah, that's right.
Mark
Oh,
it.
John.
excellent. Here we are. Now we're rocking. Okay.
That's some good news right there.
Almost a New Testament.
And that
of
wraps up the
news.
good news.
There you have it, friends. Oh my goodness. All right. Any other words before we go to final words? All right. Well, you know what? We meet somewhere in the world every single week, but you can usually find us online by finding us on Facebook. It's Compass Church Colorado, and you can discover more at compassdenver.com, and we'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right. That's it. Final words.
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
Likewise, and subscribe. Here's my new thing.
There you go. This has been great because he is great.
Wisely like. If you're wise, you will like likewise. Oh, my soul. Well, you know what? Grace to you and peace. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kathy. Thanks for watching.
Wise and subscribe.
Watch this like an hour the day
Like, be
after.
wise, and subscribe. If you're wise,
Like one.
That's funny.
If you're wise, you will like.
Law would help us. All right.
I like it.